Yes, I wanted to get clarity. I was drug out of Albach Church. I was fleeing a domestic violence crisis, and I was begging the church for help at a Sunday service. And I was they marched me out for begging for my life in a rage. Someone that looked like they were from the Secret Service. The con the area was pretty big where the service was being held. So I fell because they were marching me out so quick. Then they started dragging me with my legs being drug on the ground in front of the whole church service, and then slammed me down on the concrete outside. I thought I was going to be murdered at church. So it's a repeated pattern of people that are furious with me for trying to flee a domestic violence crisis. I asked the church, I've attended that church decades, on why I would be mistreated like that. The church said that I needed to talk to the police, but prior to that, they gave me a criminal trespass when I came back. Well, see, that location was vital because I had met up a lot of people, and I felt that there was a lot of integrity issues in multiple different locations. And I wanted to go to a place that was familiar. That way, I knew that they had good, good intentions for me. But some kind of way, they mistreated me there. They knew I was coming because they met me at the door. So if someone is prearranging crimes with these churches, they for some reason they wanted me to call the police to figure out why I was drug out of their church. But the police never, well, they said that the police were coming to explain why they gave me a criminal trespass and why I was virtually assaulted at a church service. But I keep getting treated like this at all churches I attend, and I want to know what's behind why these churches slander me and scheme so I can't attend services there. I'm an avid churchgoer, and I think that this man is enlisting these people to keep me from attending church services. And since it's criminal, there's coming up with schemes to keep me from attending service at multiple different locations. So I'm not quite certain on what to do because each time reporting crimes to the police, they're uncovering for it and enlist civilians in crimes. I'm sorry, what was your name?
Officer Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald, and your badge number?
Ma'am, it's recorded 9960.
99 what?
60.
Okay. So each time I'm trying to flee abuse, 9960?
Yes.
Why would so many people play mind games and be furious because I'm trying to flee abuse to the degree of where I get assaulted at church?
No one's playing a mind game, ma'am. I'm
I'm
just
just
listening.
if I'm being assaulted at church, that is kind of like a mind game. If I'm being kept of my
Well,
right to go to
ma'am,
church,
it,
someone it
it
was
sounds like, ma'am, hold on a minute.
yes.
Let me say something real quick. And so it appears to be, or it sounds like it was a disturbance at church in which you were disrupting the service or the people that were attending church at the time. So that's the reason why they criminal trespassed you from the location.
Oh, they criminal trespassed me for trying to flee abuse, and I just not repeatedly being heard. It's bizarre. So I
Okay.
did
Well,
tell you that the
ma'am,
church did not. They were not aware of why they wanted me criminal trespass. They said that I needed to wait on the police, and I thought I find it bizarre that people want to punish me for trying
okay,
to flee abuse.
ma'am, did you wait on the police?
They never came, but I find it bizarre that armies full of people want to
Uh,
punish me for
Ma'am,
trying to flee
did
abuse.
first,
I don't know how I thought that the police department was did things like that, protected people from abuse. I'm not really quite getting clarity on where the police department got to the point to where someone cannot report abuse year after year. I find that bizarre.
ma'am, I wasn't there.
But
I
I
did
am
hear the
actively
other
on a
side
phone
of the
call with the police
story.
reporting abuse, and I can't at church. So I don't know what to do because I did report that I believe my abuser is abusing power. I also went to the Potter's house. That's a big church.
Okay,
And at the
okay,
Potter's, I'm not able to report that I think that my abusers enlisting churches to keep me in as abuse and deprive me of assistance and scams so I can't attend service. Where would I
okay, ma'am.
report that to, sir? Because no one has time for me to report crimes.
Ma'am, what do you stay?
I'm sorry?
Where do you live?
Close to that area. I'm homeless right now. I don't have a specific place, but I've been close to that area, so I'm trying to figure out what to do because I went to the
But,
Potter's house too.
but
I'm not
if
able
you
to
got a
tell you the
complaint,
police department was at the Potter's
ma'am,
house standing over staff. I'm just trying to tell
this,
you my experiences, sir. And if I can't
ma'am,
effectively report crimes everywhere I'm at or abuse, is my abuser paying you guys? Is he controlling
ma'am,
the police department?
if, listen listen to what I'm about to tell you. If you have an emergency or a complaint,
I didn't call the
either
emergency line. I called
I'm
the
telling you what to
South
do.
Central Patrol.
If you,
I'm just trying to get information and feedback. Are you denying me information,
and
sir?
I'm about to tell you the information. You can go file your complaint up at headquarters, okay?
I'm just
About the
trying to get
father's house,
clarity, your mental clarity. You're a police,
okay?
and I wanted to know direction because also
And
at
I just
I'm
gave
not
it
able
to
to
you.
report crimes. Is there anyone that will take the time out? Church won't do it. Domestic violence organizations won't do it, or family members.
Okay, I
Everyone
just
wants to
told you what
shut
to
me
do.
up. I think that's a red flag. Do you think maybe he's controlling these people, sir? And that's why no one will let me report him? Do you think that he's behind why all these locations are covering for him? Because I find it highly peculiar that I can't report abuse at all police departments I come in contact with. How do I report a conspiracy with all these churches, someone controlling them? So what I was trying to communicate with you is that at the Potter's house, a police was standing over staff. And I told her I came in to get help with fleeing abuse, and the police officer was standing over staff, and she was playing mind games and called all these locations, and they claimed none could help me. And then she said she had other people that she needed to see, but she didn't help me, and I was terrified for my life. You there, sir?
Ma'am, I just gave you advice on what to do. You kept talking over me, so I don't know what
There
you
was
want.
a purpose for my calling. I'm not really being heard in multiple different environments. I'm trying to figure things
I listened
out.
to what you were saying.
I'm just
I
trying to
gave
figure
you a
things out
response,
because I've been
and
denied law
you
enforcement, and
keep
I'm just
talking
trying to
over
get
me.
avenues to figure out what's happening to me. And you have expertise by being an officer. And I'm stating that if I'm getting violated in multiple different churches and my abuser's indeed enlisting these parties to be accomplices to his abuse, what kind of legal remedy do I have for that as a police officer? If he's found to be enlisting these churches to keep me from fleeing them, and I was actually assaulted at a church, I'm not quite sure why I can't report that to the police. I think that's highly peculiar to be assaulted and given a criminal trespass for trying to flee abuse in multiple different environments. Is that a red flag that perhaps maybe the person that I'm claiming is violating me is indeed controlling these people? Have you ever heard of someone being assaulted, arrested, and removed for trying to flee abuse at multiple different locations, including that church? This is the police. Hello? This would be a mind game, sir, that you claim that you didn't, you weren't playing. I'm not quite
All right,
certain.
ma'am.
This would kind
Okay,
of be a
ma'am.
mind game.
Listen, ma'am. I gave you instructions on what to do and how to handle the situation. And if you want to file a complaint, as far as with
I've
about the
already
father's
done
house,
that, sir, and I haven't had
okay,
any. I've
then
filed
there's no
like
more we
300
can
something
do.
reports all over the place. I
Ma'am,
can't get
there's
a. I'm
nothing
not
I
able
can
to
do.
communicate what's happening. It really doesn't go anywhere for all these years. I'm just trying to prove it. Why would the police department condone behavior like that and then play mind games? If someone is enforcing that a whole huge church service see an assault at church, that's why hardly they have no members there, hardly no any members. Why would you demand that a whole congregation see someone get assaulted for trying to flee abuse? And then the pastor basically covers for it. I don't know what was going on with him. I know he had this huge scandal. So, nonetheless, I wouldn't go attend a church where I had to sit there and my children and see someone get assaulted at church for trying
Okay,
to flee
ma'am.
abuse,
Listen,
and
listen,
everybody
listen.
had
Then go
excuses
find
for
another
why it
church home.
happened to not go to
Ma'am,
jail.
listen. If you're unhappy with the Potter's house, go find another
That
church
happened
to
at
attend.
IBOC, but I'm trying to establish a
Okay?
pattern that someone is
That's what
enlisting
you
these
do.
churches to
Or,
be
ma'am,
accomplices to abuse to the
listen to
degree
what I'm
of where
about
they
to say
witness
next.
me. I'm not able to get law enforcement, sir. I'm trying to prove it on how sadistic
Ma'am,
the police department is for profit.
ma'am, you can have church at your home. Have
But if
church at home.
the
That's what
government
you
allows freedom of
church at
religion.
home.
This
Search on your
government
phone.
does allow freedom
your
of
own
religion,
search.
and I'm trying to prove that I've been robbed of that and schemed.
Now, is there anything else I can help you with?
I think that it's something that the feds need to help you
Okay.
guys with.
Have a good day.